went on our Japan trip for the second time because the yen is so cheap. Essentially, I mean, I really think that's like the biggest thing about it is once you get there, man. But didn't we find out that Airbnb's been fucking us over?
Yeah, you have to pay the Airbnb fee. So the next time we go, they gave us like a little email that said, book on our website directly to save money.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing, right? When you go to Japan, the yen is very cheap still. It's like 153 right now, right? Which is insane.
Do you want to go in October?
It's awfully fucking tempting with the flight prices you found. I will think about you. Why don't you ask me in a week?
Okay.
Or keep sending me like prices for the flights. Anyway, the flight is going to suck no matter what. You're going to pay a lot for that. But once you get there, the only other major expense you're going to have is your housing. So essentially, but the shitty thing is that even though the yen is so cheap, I made the big mistake of booking like 12 days in an Airbnb this last time from the Airbnb website, which they do in dollars. So it doesn't help you at all. And then the guy that we stayed with last time, it was a pretty nice place. I
liked it. I think we'll stay there next time we stay in Tokyo.
Basically, he messaged us and was like, "Hey, you can book outside of Airbnb," and we were going to save like half.
Really?
I think that's what the math came out to, and
ugh.
I mean, we would have saved over $500 doing that. So that was
I could have bought more Miffy suitcases.
That was a big whiff. But once you get there, man, it's cheap. We're going to get into it because I just can't get over like how much you can drink in Japan and not even think about what you're spending. I mean, it's utterly wild. So one of the first things we did when we got there was we went to the bathhouse. We went to 5 bathhouses.
But we went to our first the first Sento I ever went to in Japan.
Yes.
It's like my home base.
Your home base.
I feel a little sentimental to it.
I still love it. We'll go again, but it's nowhere near as good as the others. It's like one of the worst.
I like it.
Oh, man, it's so shitty by comparison.
But the women's side there is so good. But we'll get into that.
All right. So, and then we got Indian food. So we checked in at the Airbnb. There's an Indian restaurant, which is horrible service, right next to the Sento. And
I love the food there, though.
The food is really good.
The food is so good.
And
the service is so incredibly bad.
And the food feels very authentic to me. It's like it's very different than what you get in America for Indian food. So I know that it's real, basically, because we've bastardized everything here and make it shitty. But the big day for Pancake was the second day when the second day was great.
Yes, it was great. It was really, really good.
So you got your nails done.
I did, and they were super cute. Basically, they do nails two times as well as they do in the
There's a
States.
nail place on every corner.
There's here?
In Japan.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
everywhere.
They're everywhere. And they do such a good job. Like,
well, the service.
The service is amazing, and the nail quality was just on point, and it was like half the price I would have paid here.
So for the women listening, you got a pretty high-end service done. Like, you even had like charms and stuff attached to your nails and things. What was the amount of money in yen?
22.
So I actually know the amount.
I know, because you have a crazy math brain.
Yeah, so we paid about 7,000 yen for that, which came out to be like a little under $50.
Yeah, you can't get service like that in the States for that price.
Yeah,
because I could find a crappy place to do it for that cheap, but that's before tip.
Yeah, and then your nails would look like ass.
Total ass.
Yeah.
And then I went and I got my hair done.
Yeah.
That same day.
In Ginza, in Harajuku, at a haircut place where the people speak English. It's Japanese people, but for some reason they're bilingual.
But they're not like super, like they just know a little.
Oh, just a little. It's
but
probably
we were
people
able to
that
communicate.
It's people that study in high school and they try a little harder than most kids, maybe.
A lot of them told me that they like want to go to the States to do hair.
Yeah, they all
like that's a big deal.
They all want to be in New York.
So I think they're all also wanting to practice cutting hair and speak, but
Okay.
also I don't know.
Maybe they're studying in private. Yeah, but you got a nice haircut and made a friend.
I did. We follow each other on Instagram now. It's really cute.
That's so cute. And meanwhile, I was off spending a ton of money in the Adidas store.
Oh my gosh, so much money. And you just ruined a whole set.
I know, I'm so bad. So it was so funny. How long did I agonize over buying that stuff? It ended up being
About an hour.
It ended up being unbelievably cheap, but it was only like $150. But,
Oh yeah.
But I mean, $150 sounds like a lot, but I mean,
You got a bunch of
I
stuff.
got like
though.
$400 for the stuff in the States for only $150 because it was in Japan. So and then I wore, so I had this. Oh, I'm so devastated the other night. Thursday last week was a bad day for me, really bad. So I went and smoked hookah by myself, which I wanted to get dinner and just have some hookah and watch a horror movie. So I did that, sort of.
But not without casualty.
So I've got my like really nice Adidas Aero Ready like zip up hoodie on with like the inside, like the smooth inside camo lining, and it's got the zip pockets, and it's so fucking nice. And I have the matching pants. So the matching pants, they also have zip pockets. You know, they feel really good. The material's nice. You know, and it breathes. It's warm, but it breathes. I don't know. It's weird. I was on the phone with my mom walking into the hookah place, and I said, I gotta go. But I told her, I was like, oh, I'm in my Adidas jumpsuit. I love it. It's my favorite item of clothing currently. Okay. So I go in, and I was just laying back in the little couch cushions with the hookah thing, and long story short, I pulled it over, and I pulled the hookah over onto myself, and
Dingus move.
and there were coals on top of the hookah. So the coals just shower all over me, right? Hit me in the thigh, burned me pretty badly on my thigh, actually. I got a scab there where it just ripped right through the skin. Hit me in my ribs, and all over the place.
Hailstorm.
I 100% destroyed this outfit from Adidas. It was so sad. We're off topic like fuck, but yeah, I destroyed it.
Big burn holes.
Big dead. So, but yeah, so I bought. I rebought the set, by the way, immediately off of Macy's and paid double for it. But that's you learn your lessons, you know.
And then we went and met up with Big in Japan.
So Big in Japan from the Discord and who's been on hentai episodes met up with us in quote unquote rural Tokyo. I'll say like in the Inaka for them. They think they're if you live 10 stations out, you're a fucking bumpkin.
I'd live 10 stations out for sure.
10 stations is nothing. It goes by in probably 20 minutes.
It's so much easier traveling by train. That is the best thing about Japan.
Oh, that's so good.
Is never having to get in a car. I hate being in the car.
Yeah.
I avoid it. Why do you think I work from home? I hate the car that much.
Japan is quite remarkable for its public transit. Now, people that haven't been to Japan, they hear that all the time, and they think, oh, yeah, sure, I know. You don't really actually know. Like, you have to go to Japan and experience it to really get a sense of what people are talking about. How perfectly it functions, and it's quite cheap. Anyway, so Big in Japan, Steven, his name is, we went and got all-you-can-eat yakiniku.
It was amazing.
It was tabe hodai and nomi hodai.
Yep.
It was all you can eat and all you can drink, which is utterly wild for 3 people. It did end up being like probably the most expensive meal of the trip.
It was so worth it.
But it was so worth it. I mean, I like highballs a lot.
A lot. You had.
And Steven did too. Steven, by the way, real quick.
Yeah, of course.
Steven, I just knew it was a bromance.
You guys locked eyes.
Do I have some like sexy music I can play? Oh, come on. Oh, don't do this to me.
You guys locked eyes.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
And became one. I witnessed it.
You said became one?
Yeah.
Oh
I witnessed it. I watched it happen. And I think the next time we go to Japan, we're definitely going to have to see our friend Steven again.
Well, yeah. So, hanging out with Steven was one of the most fun things that we did on the trip. He and I probably drank like 15 highballs between us. And I like the little robot that came.
Yes, it brought us. They had one of those little robots that
They do have like robots that are
bring the trays, and
Yeah.
you can stack up your dirty
plate.
stuff, and
Yeah.
they'll take it away. It's cute.
Yeah. So thank you, Steven. We'll visit again. Shit, she's trying to get me to come in October.
Trying.
All right. So, and day 2 was the Ikebukuro day. So, Ikebukuro has officially surpassed Akihabara as being the
Yep.
most nerdy, cool place in Japan to hang out. We didn't even go to Akihabara this time.
Nope.
And I didn't miss it at all.
I didn't either. It was just figure stores. And
That's all they do in Akiba now is sell figures. That's it.
and that is fine. I know a lot of people like figures. Me personally, I don't like a whole lot of clutter and like things just around. So I'm not huge on figures. I'll have a couple, but I don't need a whole day to look at figures. I don't know.
Yeah, and the other thing about figures is that a lot of them have a lot of weird shapes and angles and stuff with them, and they collect dust horribly. Like, and you can't get in there and clean it. Like, what would you do?
You'd have to get one of those little spray cans and spray it off.
Yeah, anyway.
But anyway.
But Ikebukuro is amazing. It's
Yes.
getting better. Every time I go to Japan, it gets better. And
Because they have Sunshine City, which I think is some of the best shopping there is.
here's a typical day for Pancake and I in Ikebukuro. We went to Ikebukuro.
Almost every day.
Yeah, I was going to say like at least 5 times. But so here's what happens. You get out, you walk to the station, you get on the train. Yamanote line takes you to Ikebukuro like 4 minutes, and you're there, right, from where we stayed. You get out, Pancake's looking at every clothing store in the station.
I was there to shop.
She found one that she liked immediately and bought like a ton of shit because it's so fucking cheap, right? That one hat you got was like $12.
It's so cute.
I couldn't believe it. It was made out of like real rabbit or something. I don't fucking know.
It was awesome.
You do some shopping. You get out.
But you missed a whole thing that happens.
Oh.
First, we go to the vending machine because we absolutely have to
you gotta
get.
stop on the way.
You've got to stop. You got to go get your milk tea, and it's
Oh, yeah.
warm.
Yeah.
You got to get
You
your
get it warm.
canned coffee.
You get it warm or cold.
Yeah, but it was cold. It was chilly.
Oh, it was a chilly day. Yeah. Yeah. We went for New Year's, by the way. So right about now, it's like December 29th.
Yeah, because we actually lost a whole day.
Yeah, we did lose a day because of course the airlines, couldn't keep their shit together, and so they canceled one of our flights. But it doesn't matter.
We got there. It was great.
Ikebukuro is like you go down the main strip towards Sunshine City.
There's cafes. There's the Sanrio store.
There's Milky Way, which we never went to.
It was just so busy.
They have big parfaits there, but it's very popular. Then there's like the Sanrio stores right next to Milky Way. Round one, which is, in Japan is so good.
And then what are those little game centers called? I can't remember.
Oh, they're called Gigo.
The Gigos. There's a bunch of Gigos if you like that.
The Gigos are pretty fun. Then there's a bunch of nerdy shit like there's a book off. There's figure stores. There's a Capcom store that's like 3 floors.
Yep.
There's a bunch of stuff there.
Then you have the Sunshine City shopping mall,
which is very nerdy too. So Shonen Jump World is there and it's still open.
The Pokemon Center's there.
Pokemon Center's there. The Shin-Chan store is there. The Sanrio store is there. There's like 5 or 6 other.
Sumiko Gurashi.
There was a One Piece store. There was a Detective Conan store. There was a Ghibli store. A bunch of stuff, right?
But then it also has like clothing as well.
Tons of clothing and some high-end clothing too, and some reasonable stuff too.
And the Me Pig Cafe.
Oh yeah, so the most popular cafe in Japan is called Me Pig.
And it's...
Did you? I gotta say, I'm not really sold on the Me Pigs.
Why?
I just don't think I love eating pigs. I just don't think I like
hanging out with a pig.
I just don't. I think they're gross.
I think they're cute, and they used the litter box and stuff.
Yeah, except the one that pissed right in front of me.
Well, that one had an attitude.
Straight up.
That pink pig had an attitude problem.
Yeah, well, so Me Pig is the most popular animal cafe in Japan. For people that don't know, in Japan, Pancake witnessed this, pets are extremely expensive.
Oh my God. They had a ragdoll cat for $6,000 USD.
In a generic ass pet store that probably wasn't even a well-bred animal, for example, they had a miniature like poodle that was like 11,000. I couldn't believe it. It was like 1.8 million yen.
That's insane.
Or it was 11 million.
And
no,
you never
wait.
see
I'm fucked up.
you never see stray animals.
Yeah, it would have been like 1.8 million. Yeah, exactly. There's no stray animals. But because of that, no one can afford a pet, and so they basically go to these animal cafes.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So
and
there's cat cafes, dog cafes, owl cafes, hedgehogs, ferrets. There's the meat pigs. They're like
rabbits. There's
rabbit
all
cafe,
kinds.
Yeah, I did want to go to the hedgehog cafe, but they wanted you to be there for a minimum of like an hour and a half, and I was like,
maybe
that
next
is
time.
So long, like
if it wasn't so late in the trip, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Ikebukuro, I mean, we found a metal game that we really liked in Ikebukuro called. What the hell was that game called?
Choose and chew.
That's not the name of the game. Oh shit.
It's something about drilling. You're basically it's one
Holding
of those.
Holding a tail. That's what it's called.
And it was fun. You're a little mouse, and you're on a planet, and you're trying to you're drilling down. Mm-hmm. But there are different orbs. It's so hard to describe a metal pushing game.
Hori Ateru. HORIATEERU. TEERU. Teru. So basically, it's just like this game. It's one of those coin pusher games.